Hi guys. I'm coming on here because collectively, if there are many who are feeling that they're struggling with everything and that life itself is literally reverting back to like 50 years ago, I'm not quite understanding what we're doing, and I don't even want to get into the governmental aspect of things. I just know as a collective of everybody knows that it's not right. This is a product of our own projections, and that's my take on it. I'm a firm believer that everything is frequency. So you got to think of yourself like a radio. And what we emit is what we get back. So it breaks down to physics. If we're emitting, and it also engulfs the secret, what we think we manifest and how to manifest things to bring to you. But if you're having a shit day and, you're emitting that frequency, the universe is just gonna meet you where you're at. So the state of the world right now is like perpetually in fear and doubt, and they just want to group it all together to keep you stuck. And I've also realized that during COVID, they sent everyone indoors and everyone social distance, etc. But I think where they messed up was a lot of people, when they went indoors, they decided to go inward. And if you didn't do that during COVID, you're realizing that you're doing it now. A lot of self-internal checklists, a lot of also waking up, you feel the collective, like it's heavy. You wake up and you're just like, it's too much to bear sometimes. The reason why I'm hopping on here and stating this out loud, which I know a various amount of people feel the same, is because if we're frequency and we're here and we're emitting our energies and they're creating reality, then we need to be a little bit kinder, not only to others, but ourselves. I know that I can be really, really hard on myself. You get stuck in that monkey mind and you're continuing to over and over and over again beat yourself up over things. I'm not good enough here. And even right down to social media, sorry, the words are just coming so fast. Everyone's being pit against to compare ourselves to one another, and it keeps us separate, but yet in a fear-mongering collective, if that's even the correct way to put that. I'm channeling as stuff's coming in. Those of you who don't know, I've been working with cards and psychically channeling things since I was very, very little. So I just wanted to come on here and take a quick moment. These are Carolyn Muse's archetype cards. They're really incredible. I just wanted to take a quick moment and pick a couple cards for the collective. I know that this will resonate with certain people. I'm just here. I know that I have gifts and it's about time to share them. So this is for the collective, and what these cards are is they have the light attributes and the shadow attributes, and of certain archetypes, whether it be, for instance, we have the alchemist, transformation of base motives, goals, and golden wisdom, and shadow attribute is misuse of power and knowledge that comes through spiritual practice. So, I mean, these cards are really, really incredible. So right now, I'm just going to pick 3 cards for the collective to kind of get the energies of what's going on. And if I can be of service to others, I'm here to help. So, and the Alchemist at the bottom, so I know that one wanted to come out, but we're gonna spread these out. And that one. Oh. Okay, so 4 came up, and so we have the first one's the scribe, and the light attributes is preserving knowledge and information, and the shadow attributes are altering facts or plagiarizing others' work. So this is literally a collective reading, and this reading is timeless. So like whenever you find this, or you see me or speaking or whatever, this is meant to find you at that exact moment. But scribe, how interesting is it that like our forefathers and like in this great country we're living in at the moment, and I mean no disrespect, it's just we can all agree that this is a shit show. Like it's a shit show. So that like history was written, you know, or history's being written now. I mean, what I just said is now in the past. That's history. So people, right now is the time to write the truth down, to get the truth out, whether it's video, whether it's journaling and getting your own truth out, whether it's any of that. It's for the truth and without ego. And by that, I mean without an agenda, without something stepping in and saying, you know, serving a purpose that's not exactly the lightest of purposes, or that's not kind, I should say, that would come out and eventually hurt others. Because the shadow attributes are altering facts or plagiarizing others' work. So not for nothing, but isn't that what's kind of going on in the media, like fake news and everything? It's just, that's the shadow attribute. I mean, I'm excuse my stuttering, but I'm under a grand impression that our dimensions split over the past year and a half, where we went from 3D to 5D. Like the earth literally went through a wormhole and went boop. And a lot of people who are living in the 3D are still very, you know, the fear and the war and all of that. And then you're dealing with people who are ascending to the 5D or the 5th dimension, where you're realizing that things are starting to fall away, that you're not attracted to the lower vibrations that are coming in. It's not the fear, the hate, or any of that. It's we know that there's work to do. And many of us seem to be kind of walking around bumping into walls. Like, we know there's work to do, so you're walking in and it's like, oop, oop, okay. Like a Roomba would hit a wall and then back up and like hit something else until it found a clear pathway. And that's kind of what I feel we are being put up against, where the people who are awake are noticing that this is kind of like Jello. Like this dimension that we're in on this plane in Earth, this is Jello. We're moving through Jello. If you have all been your dreams, really check in with yourself and check in with it all, because your dreams, more often than not, especially recently, have been prophetic, have been lucid, have been really intense and vibrant. Because over the past year and a half, 2 years, we have literally been so stagnant here in the reality, but dream world, we're able to be fluid. So this just, it really is showing that there are light and dark to everything in life. And before I get to the other card, my apologies, I'm just getting so much information that I want to share with you that you have to have the dark to show the light. You have to. If it were not for the darkness that surrounds even the brightest of lights, you wouldn't know how bright that light shone itself. You need to have the balance. You need to have the duality. The yin yang symbol is the perfect example of that. There's, the light and the dark, and then there's the dark and the light, and there's always one in the other. But we're rewriting history at the moment, and there are some that are going to the shadow attribute, and that's 3D. And then the lighter attributes is 5D aspects of how this plane and planet is shifting and has us as humans in meat suits. Like, don't ever forget the fact that you're Stardust. You are Stardust in a meat skin suit. You have chosen to come here to work and lift this planet collectively. So this is what we're working. So if you are feeling low energy, if you're feeling exhausted, first and foremost, please be kind to yourself. That's how we continue to be kind to others, is when we show ourselves the same respect, compassion, and kindness that we would show somebody else. Why, if someone's going through a really hard time, your best friend comes to you, oh, it's okay, like, they're like, I did this, I'm terrible, I'm a terrible human. Well, this happened because of this, and a lot of times we try and explain it away for people to understand it and feel better about what happened. Why can't we give ourselves that same compassion? Just something to sit with. Because compassion would go a really, really long way. The next card that's up is King. And I also, I'm not trying to pull full-on religion into this by any means, but I can't help but think of Jesus and, the King of the Jews, and the fact that we're going back to like the olden ways of religion trumping everything. Religion being with government and not being separate from church and state. So, but the light attributes are enlightened, benevolent leadership, benefiting those in your charge. And shadow attributes are excessive feelings of entitlement and rulership without restraint. So if you can kind of go at this as collectively, as what we're dealing with collectively, is that not what we're dealing with? Where we're looking, like, as a country or as a world in general, we're looking for the peace and the unity and being led without fear, and yet we're in the excessive feelings of entitlement, rulership without restraint. I mean, that's the top elite, that's the 1% that we're dealing with. They have no idea what's happening. All we have to do is stand up and the game's over. The other card that comes out is Addict. And I can resonate with this more than most of the cards in these decks. Addict, I have a very addictive personality. I've been through the ringer with opiates and with various other entities of drugs, which I've come out on top of, but it's not without a struggle. So, but this can also be not just drugs. This can be addict in various ways. Us as a society, we're addicted to certain things, to certain mannerisms. Even right down to our attention span and our instant gratification, like the TikToks, where it's like a 30-second clip, and then before you know it, you're scrolling through and it's been like 3 hours, and you're like, okay, where did my time go? I'm guilty of it. I'm no better than anybody else. I'm absolutely guilty of it. But the light attribute of the addict is it helps you recognize and confront your addictive behavior. The shadow attributes compromises integrity and honesty, allows an addictive pattern to have authority over your inner spirit. So if we can step to the side of ourselves for a moment, and if anyone is struggling with addictive behavior, it could be coffee, it could be the gym, it could be a lot of people that I know that get off drugs throw themselves into a completely other addiction. And it's up to others, or not up to, society in itself will tell you what's healthy and what's not. I mean, everyone has their own judgment on it. Everyone has their own opinion. And it's pretty much like everyone has an asshole. You know, everyone's got one, but you don't have to share it. The last card that I picked, and actually it was the third card that came through, but it told me to put it to this. They told me to put it to the side. So is Father, and I have the light attributes are the talent for creating and supporting life, positive guiding light with a tribal unit, and the shadow attributes are dictatorial control and abusive authority. Is that not what we're going through right now? Is that not like this dictatorship that's happening, all this stuff with the rights of like pro-choice? I'm not even getting into that. I'm just using that as an understanding that this is what we're dealing with right now. And the light attributes that is the talent for creating and supporting life. Like if we came together as a collective and like forgot the elite, forgot them, like overthrown, we would come together in peace, would we not? And then the shadow attributes of the dictatorial control and abusive authority, like, is that not what's happening in general? And this is collectively, but please also understand, you as a human, you are, if you think of our planet or our existence as a body itself, Mother Gaia in general, Mother Earth, we are beings on her planet. So we can be looked at as cells. It's all made up collectively. So this is a cellular thing. It comes down to a cellular understanding that we as a collective can work together with the other cells and heal the bigger organism. And not only is that just for like this earth or plane of existence, it starts with you, it starts with us. I just really wanted to come on here and share this. I've been really inclined to doing so, and I'm going to be doing more of it. I think that the collective needs this. So thanks for everyone for listening, and please remember that even though this was a collective, and this is again timeless, that it starts within us. So please show yourself kindness. Excuse me. Give yourself the rest you need. Drink your water. Take your time. Take your moments. And breathe and do it in love, because it's probably one of the most strongest things that we have, is to be able to do it in love. So thanks, guys.